one dead or drunk? See, does he breathe?
Oh! He breathes, my lord. Were he not warmed with ale, this were a cold bed to sleep so soundly.
Oh, monstrous beast! How like a swine! Oh, what think you? If he were taken up, wrapped in sweet clothes, rings put upon his fingers, a most delicious banquet by his bed, and brave attendants near him when he wakes, would not the beggar then forget himself?
It would seem strange unto him when he wakes.
Even as a flattering dream and worthless fancy. Then take him up and manage well the jest. Carry him gently to my fair's chamber. And if he chance to speak, persuade him he hath been lunatic. And when he says he is, say that he dreams, for he is nothing but a mighty lord.
My lord, I warrant you we will do our part, as he shall think by our true diligence he is no less than what we say he is.
Sir, go you to Bartholomew my page, and see him dressed in all suits like a lady. That done, conduct him to the drunkard's chamber. Call him madam, do him obeisance, and say, what is't your worshipful command, wherein your lady and your humble wife may show her duty and make known her love? And then, with kind embracements, tempting kisses, and with declining head into his bosom, bid him shed tears as being overjoyed to see her noble lord restored to health. For this 7 years have esteemed him no more than a poor and loathsome beggar. I know the boy will well usurp the grace, voice, gait, and actions of a gentlewoman. I long to hear him call the drunkard husband.
For God's sake, a pot of small ale.
Will it please your lord drink a cup of sack?
Will it please your honor taste of these conserves?
What raiment will your honor wear today?
Oh, not me honour, the lordship. I ne'er drank sack in my life. And if you're gonna give me conserves, give me conserves of beef. Ne'er ask me what raiment I'll wear, for I've no more doublets than backs, no more stockings than legs, nor no more shoes than feet. Nay, sometime, more feet than shoes, or such shoes as my toe sticks through the overlap.
This it is that makes your lady mourn.
This is it that makes your servants droop.
Thou art a lord and nothing but a lord. Thou hast a lady far more beautiful than any woman in this waning age.
Am I a lord? And have I such a lady? Or am I dreaming? Or have I dreamt till now?
Oh, will it please your mightiness wash your hands? These 15 years you were in a dream. Or so when you waked, so waked as if you slept.
These 15 years? Man, I say a goodly nap.
How fares my noble lord?
Are you my wife? And will not call me husband? My men should call me lord. I am your good man.
My husband and my lord and husband, I am your wife in all obedience.
I know it well, madam wife. They say I have dreamt and slept some 15 year or more.
Aye, and the time seems 30 unto me, being all this time abandoned from your bed.
'Tis much, servants, leave us alone, madam. Undress you, and come now to bed.
Oh, thrice noble lord, let me entreat of you. Pardon me yet for a night or two, or if not so, till the sun be set. For your physicians have expressly charged, in peril to incur your former malady, that I should yet absent me from your bed. I hope this reason stands for my excuse.
It stands, so I may hardly tarry so long. But I would be loath to fall into my dreams again.
Your players thought it good to hear a play. So frame your mind to mirth and merriment that cancels all harms and lengthens life.
Marry, I will. Let them play it. Well, madam, sit by my side and let the world slip. We shall ne'er be younger.
TRANIO! since for the great desire I had to see fair Padua nursery of arts, I am arrived for fruitful Lombardy, the pleasant garden of great Italy, and by my father's love and leave am armed by his goodwill and thy good company. My trusty servant, well approved in all, here let us breathe and happily institute a course of learning and ingenious studies. Tell me thy mind, for I have Pisa left, and am to Padua come, as he that leaves a shallow plash to plunge him in the deep, and with satiety seeks to quench his thirst.
Mi perdonato, gentle master mine. I am in all as affected as yourself, glad that you thus continue your resolve to suck the sweets of sweet philosophy. Only, good master, while we do admire this virtue and this moral discipline, let's be no stoics nor no stocks. No profit grows where is no pleasure taken. In brief, sir, study what you most effect.
Verona! For a while I take my leave to see my friends in Padua, but of all, my best beloved and approved friend, Hortensio, and I trow, here is his house. Here, Sirrah GRUMIO, knock, I say.
Knock, sir? Whom should I knock? Is there any man has abused your worship?
Villain, I say knock me at this gate, and rap me well, or I'll knock your knave's pate.
Help, mistress, help! My master is mad!
My old friend GRUMIO and my good friend Petruchio. What happy gale blows you to Padua here from old Verona?
Such wind as scatters young men through the world, to seek their fortune farther than at home, where small experience grows. Antonio, my father, is deceased, and I have thrust myself into this maze happily, to wive and thrive as best I may. Grounds in my purse I have, and goods at home, and so I'm come abroad to see the world.
But stay a while. What company is this?
Whoa, master, some show to welcome us to town.
Oh, gentlemen, importune me no farther, for how I firmly am resolved, you know. That is not to bestow my youngest daughter before I have a husband for the elder. Oh, if either of you both love Katherina, for I know you well, and I love you well, leave shall you have to court her at your pleasure.
To cart her rather. She's too rough for me.
There, Hortensio. Will you any wife?
I pray you, sir, is it your will to make a stale of me among these mates?
Mates maid, how mean you that? No mates for you unless you are of a gentler, milder mold.
In faith, sir, you shall never need to fear, it is not halfway to her heart. But if it were, doubt not her care should be to comb your noddle with a three-legged stool and paint your face and use you like a fool.
From all such devils, good Lord, deliver us.
And me too, God Lord.
Master, here's some good pastime toward. That wench is stark mad, or wonderful froward.
But in the other silence do I see maid's mild behavior and sobriety. Peace, Tranio.
Well said, master. Mum, and gaze your fill.
Gentlemen, that I may soon make good what I have said, Bianca, get you in. Oh, do not distress my good Bianca. I shall love thee nevertheless, my girl.
Pretty Pete, it is best put finger in the eye, and she knew why.
Sister, content you in my discontent. Sir, to your pleasure humbly I subscribe. My books and instruments shall be my company. On them to look and practice by myself.
Hark! Thou mayst hear Minerva speak.
Why will you mew her ups in your Baptista for this fiend of hell, and make her bear the penance of her tongue?
Gentlemen, content you. I am resolved. Bianca, go in. And for I know that she taketh great delight in music, instruments, and poetry, schoolmasters I will keep within my house, fit to instruct her youth. If you, Hortensio, or you, Signor Gremio, know of any such, prefer them hither. And so, farewell. Katherine, you stay here. I have more to commune with Bianca.
Why? And I trust I may go too, may I not? What shall I be, appointed hours, as though belike I knew not what to take and what to leave? Ha!
You may go to the devil's dam. Farewell. Yet, for the love I bear my sweet Bianca. If I can by any fortune light upon a fit man to teach her, that wherein she delights, I will wish him to her father.
And so will I, Signor Gremio, but a word I pray. Though the nature of our quarrel yet never brooked parlor, know now upon advice it touches us both, that we may yet again have access to our fair mistress and be happy rivals in Bianca's love, to labor and effect one thing specially.
What's that, I pray?
Marry, sir, get a husband for a sister.
A husband? A devil.
I say a husband.
I say a devil. Think'st thou, Hortensio, though her father be very rich, any man is so very a fool to be married to hell?
Hush, Gremio, though it may pass your patience and mine to endure her loud alarums, why, man, there be good fellows in the world, and a man would light on them, would take her with all faults, and money enough. Petruchio, shall I then come roundly to thee and wish thee to a shrewd, ill-favored wife? Thou'st thank me but a little for my counsel, and yet I promise thee, she shall be rich, and very rich, but thou too much my friend, and I'll not wish thee to her.
Signor Hortensio, twixt such friends as we, few words suffice. And therefore, if thou knows one rich enough to be Petruchio's wife, as wealth is burden to my wooing dance, be she as foul as was Florence's lover, as old as Sybil, or a worse, she moves me not, or not removes at least affection's edge in me, were she as rough as are the swelling Adriatic seas. I come to wive it wealthily in Padua. If wealthily, then happily in Padua.
Nay, look you, sir. He tells you flatly what his mind is. Why, give him gold enough and marry him to a puppet, or an aglet baby, or an old trot with ne'er a tooth in her head, though she have as many diseases as 52 horses. Why, nothing comes amiss, so money comes withal.
Petruchio, since we have stepped thus far in, I will continue that I broached in jest. I can, Petruchio, help thee to a wife, with wealth enough, and young and beauteous, brought up as best becomes a gentlewoman. Her only fault, and that is faults enough, is she is, intolerable cursed, and shrewd, and froward, so beyond all measure that were my state far worser than it is, I would not wed her for a mine of gold.
Hortensio, peace. Thou knows not gold's effect.
I cannot tell, but I had as lief take her dowry with this condition, to be whipped to the high cross every morning.
Faith, as you say, there's small choice in rotten apples, but since this bar-in-law makes us friends, it shall be so far forth friendly maintained, till by helping Baptista's eldest daughter to a husband, we set the youngest free for a husband, and have to it afresh. Sweet Bianca. Ah. Happy man be his dole. He that runs the fastest gets the ring. What say you, Signor Gremio?
I am agreed. And wouldst I had given him the best horse in Padua to begin his wooing, that would thoroughly woo her, wed her, and bed her, and rid the house of her. Come on.
Tell me her father's name, and 'tis enough. For I will board her, though she chide as loud as thunder when the clouds in autumn crack.
I pray, sir, tell me, is it possible that love should of a sudden take such hold?
TRANIO, till I found it to be true, I never thought it possible or likely. Tranio, I burn, I pine, I perish, Tranio, if I achieve not this young modest girl. Counsel me, Tranio, for I know thou canst. Assist me, Tranio, for I know thou wilt.
Master, you look so longly on the maid. Perhaps you mark not what's the pith of all.
I saw sweet beauty in her face, such as the daughter of a Jeaner had, that made great Jove to humble him to her hand when with his knees he kissed the Cretan strand.
Saw you no more? Marked you not how her sister began to scold and raise up such a storm that mortal ears might hardly endure the din?
Tranio, I saw her coral lips to move, and with her breath she did perfume the air. Sacred and sweet was all I saw in her.
Nay, then 'tis time to stir him from his trance. I pray, awake, sir. If you love the maid, bend thoughts and wits to achieve her. Thus it stands. Her older sister is so cursed and shrewd that till the father rid his hand of her, Master, your love must live a maid at home, and therefore has he closely mewed her up because she will not be annoyed with suitors.
Tranio, what a cruel father is he! But art thou not advised he took some care to get her cunning schoolmasters to instruct her?
Marry, I am, sir, and now she's plotting.
I have it, Tranio.
Master, for my hand, both our inventions meet and jump in one.
Tell me thine first.
You will be the schoolmaster and undertake the teaching of the maid. That's your device.
It is. May it be done.
Not possible. For who shall bear your part and be in Padua here Vincentio's son, keep house and ply his books, visit his friends, welcome his countrymen, and banquet them.
Master, content thee, for I have it full. We have not yet been seen in any house, nor can we be distinguished by our faces for man or master. Then it follows thus. Thou shalt be Master Tranio in my stead. Keep house and port and servants as I should, I will. Some other be, some Florentine, some Neapolitan, or meaner man of Pisa. 'Tis hatched and shall be so. Tranio at once uncase thee. Take my colored hat and cloak. When BIONDELLO comes, he waits on thee. But I will charm him first to keep his tongue.
So had you need. In brief, sir, sith it your pleasure is, and I am tied to be obedient. For so your father charged me at our parting. Be serviceable to my son, quoth he, although I think 'twas in another sense. I am content to be Lucentio, because so well I love Lucentio.
Tranio, be so, because Lucentio loves. And let me be a slave to achieve the maid whose sudden sight hath thralled my wounded eyes.
Her father is Baptista Minola, an affable and courteous gentleman. Her name is Katharine Minola, renowned in Padua for a scolding tongue.
I know her father, though I know not her, and he knew my deceased father well. I will not sleep, Hortensio, until I see her, and therefore let me be thus bold with you to give you over at this first encounter, unless you will accompany me hither.
I pray you, sir, let him go while the humor lasts. On my word, and she knew him as well as I do, she would think scolding would do little good upon him. She may perhaps call him half a score knaves or so. Why, that's nothing. And he begin once, he'll rail in his rope tricks. I'll tell you what, sir, and she stand him but a little, he'll throw a figure in her face and so disfigure her with it that she shall have no more eyes to see withal than a cat. You know him not, sir.
Tarry, Petruchio, I must go with thee, for in Baptista's keep my treasure is. He hath the jewel of my life in hold, his youngest daughter, beautiful Bianca, and her withholds from me another more suitors to her and rivals in my love, thinking it a thing impossible for all those defects I have before rehearsed that ever Katharine will be wooed. Therefore this order Baptista's tame, that none shall have access unto Bianca until Katherine the Cursed hath got a husband.
Katherine the Cursed. A title for a maid, of all titles, the worst.
Now shall my friend Petruchio do me grace and offer me disguised in sober robes to old Baptista as a schoolmaster, well seen in music to instruct Bianca, so that I may, by this device at least, have leave and leisure to make love to her, and unsuspected court her by herself.
Sirrah! Here comes the rogue. Where have you been?
Where have I been? Nay, how now? Where are you? Master, has my fellow Tranio stolen your clothes, or have you stolen his, or both? Pray, what's the news?
Sirrah, come hither. 'Tis no time to jest, and therefore frame your manners to the time. Your fellow Tranio here to save my life, puts my apparel and my countenance on, and I, for my escape, have put on his. For in a quarrel since I came ashore, I killed a man, and fear I was described. Wait you on him, I charge you as becomes, while I make way from hence to save my life. You understand me?
Aye, sir. Now, a wit.
And not a jot of Tranio in your mouth. Tranio is changed into Lucentio.
The better for him. Would that I were so too.
So could I say, boy, to have the next wish after, that Lucentio indeed had Baptista's youngest daughter, but, sirrah, not for my sake, but your master's, I advise you, use your manners discreetly in all kind of companies, when I am alone, whether I am Tranio, but in all places else, your master Lucentio. Let's go.
Master, look about you. Who goes there?
Peace, GREMIO. It is the rival of my love. Petruchio, stand by a
A
while.
proper stripling and an amorous.
Oh, very well, I have perused the note. Hark you, sir, I'll have them very fairly bound. All books of love. See that at any hand, and see you read no other lectures to her. You understand me? Over and besides Signor Baptista's liberality, I'll mend it with a largesse. Take your paper too, and let me have them very well perfumed, for she is sweeter than perfume itself to whom they go. What will you read her?
Whatever I read to her, I'll plead for you. As for my patron, stand you so assured, as firmly as yourself were still in place. Yea, and perhaps with more successful words than you, unless you were a scholar, sir.
Oh, this learning, what a thing it is.
Oh, this woodcock, what an ass it is.
Peace, sirrah. GREMIO, mum. God save you, Signor GREMIO.
And you are well met, Signor Hortensio. Trow you whither I am going? To Baptista Minola. I promise to inquire carefully about a schoolmaster for the fair Bianca, and by good fortune have lighted well on this young man, for reading and education fit for her turn, well read in poetry and other books. Good ones, I warrant you.
'Tis well, and I have met a gentleman hath promised to help me to another, a fine musician, to instruct our mistress. So shall I no whit be behind in duty to fair Bianca, so beloved of me.
Beloved of me, and that my deed shall prove.
And that his bags shall prove.
GREMIO, 'tis now no time to vent our love. Listen to me, and if you speak me fair, I'll tell you news indifferent good for either. Here is a gentleman whom by chance I met. Upon agreement from us to his liking, will undertake to woo cursed Katherine, yea, and to marry her, if her dowry please.
So said, so done is well. Hortensio, have you told him all her faults?
I know, she is an irksome, brawling scold. If that be all, masters, I hear no harm.
No? Sayest thou so, friend? What countryman?
Born in Verona, old Antonio's son. My father dead, my fortune lives for me, and I do hope
good days and long to see.
Oh, sir, such a life with such a wife were strange. But if you've a stomach, to it in God's name. You shall have me assisting you in all. But will you woo this wild cat?
Will I live?
Will he woo her? Aye, or I'll hang her.
Why came I hither but to that intent? Think you a little din can daunt mine ears?
Hark, Hortensio, I think this gentleman is happily arrived for his own good and yours.
I promised we would be contributors and bear his charge of wooing whatsoever.
And so we will, provided he winna.
I would I were assured of a good dinner.
Gentlemen, God save you. If I may be bold, tell me, I beseech you, which is the readiest way to the house of Signor Baptista Minola?
He that has the two fair daughters. It's him you mean?
Even he, Biondello.
Well begun, Tranio.
Are you a suitor to the maid you speak of, yea or no?
And if I be, sir, is it any offense?
No, if without more words you get you hence.
Why, sir, I pray, are not the streets as free for me as for you?
But so is not she.
For what reason, I beseech you?
For this reason, if you'll know. For she is the choice love of Signor GREMIO.
She is the chosen of Signor HORTENSIO. May I be so bold as ask you, have you yet ever seen Baptista's daughter?
No, sir, but here I do that he hath too. The one is famous for a scolding tongue, as is the other for beauteous modesty.
So, sir, the first's for me. Let her go by.
Yea, leave that labour to the great Hercules.
Sir, understand you this of me in sooth. The youngest daughter whom you hearken for, her father keeps from all access of suitor, and will not promise her to any man until the elder sister first be wed.
The younger then is free, and not before.
If it be so, sir, that you are the man must stead us all, and me amongst the rest. Achieve the elder, set the younger free for our access.
Sir, you say well, and well you do conceive, and since you do profess to be a suitor, you must, as we do, gratify this gentleman to whom we all rest generally beholding.
Sirrah, I shall not be slack.
Fellows, let's be gone.
I will be your benvenuto.
What about